would go about generating the press fit um, pins. I'm going to go to the top view right now, so I'm looking square at the top, and I'm going to do some sketching on there, and I'm going to click on the top plane to sketch on. I'm going to do this by beginning with the construction mode, which is right here, and the construction mode is just really about kind of drawing reference lines that will never be 3D printed. So I'm going to grab a line here, and this is just going to give me some kind of way to organize it. So I'm drawing two horizontal lines here. This does not have to be done. I'm just doing this because I like to keep things organized and neat. So you could draw them, the rectangles I'm going to draw in just a second. You could draw them anywhere. But now I'm clicking on the construction mode, and I'm going to go to the rectangle mode. And I'm going to start drawing some rectangles. So I'm just putting them at the center point here. I'm drawing a center rectangle. If I hold the Option key down while I drag, it keeps the square equal horizontally and vertically. So I'm going to type in 0.75, which is 3/4 of an inch. And now both, I'm 3/4 of an inch on all sides. So it's a perfect square. I'm going to do the same thing here. Hold the Option key and just type in 0.75. I'm going to go down here and I'm going to draw 4 of them just to get started. And again, you could do this without lining them up on the lines. I'm doing it that way because I like to keep it organized. So, last one here. Oh, you can see how it jumps to that line for me. So I got 4 boxes that are 3/4 of an inch on all sides. So I'm turning it on an edge here, and then I'm going to extrude those, and you see automatically it pushes them up. Now I could change the direction. Right now the height of these is 1 inch, and I don't need it to be 1 inch. That's a waste of material and time printing it, so I'm going down to 1/2 inch, 0.5. Okay, and so I have basically four cubes that I'm going to put my press fit parts on so I can 3D print them. Okay. So I'm going to start with, again, going to the top and squaring up on the top here. And I'm going to sketch on this one first. I click on that plane, that face of that cube, and I'm going to draw it using a center circle. And if I zoom in on this so you can see it, you can see as I go across the top, it finds the center going across horizontally. And once I do the same vertically, it starts to find inference lines. And there's my center. If I just like to keep it in the center, then I'm going to type in 0.25. That's the diameter of my circle. Okay, again, I'm going to turn this on edge a little bit, and I'm going to go ahead and extrude that. So it pushed it up, and I don't want it to a height of 1 inch. And I'll back up so you can see the top there, but I don't want it to push it up. I want it to remove material, and now it's pushed it 1 inch through, and I don't need it to. Blind just means it's going to a point that you've measured. So I'm going to change it from blind to go through to through all. And that basically just pushed it right through the cube there. And that's good. Okay, so now I have a hole in this cube that's 1/4 of an inch or 0.25. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is go back to here and looking from the top again on this one. Okay, I'm going to sketch. So I'm clicking on sketch, clicking on the top plane. And now what I'm going to do, I'm going to zoom in a little bit as well. Okay, and I'm going to go to circumscribe a polygon. Remember, a polygon is just a geometric shape that has multiple sides, like a hexagon or an octagon. You have two choices: inscribe the polygon, which means inside the lines, or outside the circle lines. So I want to circumscribe that polygon. I'm going to do the same thing here. I go across till I find the middle, and then go here until I find the middle, and now I go in, and I'm going to draw. First, I click and drag out. When I let go, it allows me to change the number of sides. So I'm going to go for 8, as 6 or 8 is probably plenty. So I click on that, and now I have an 8-sided, basically an octagon. Okay, and I'm going to zoom in a little bit so you can see it. Now, what I'm also going to do is dimension that circle by clicking on the circle and hit that line. Okay, and I'll click there, and I'm going to type in 0.25, 1/4 inch. So the reality is, when I extrude this, the points of my octagon will be the same size as the circle I just created in the other cube. So they should be tight, and press fit means it's that. So they're going to press, you're going to have to squeeze them in there to get it in there, theoretically, if the printer's tolerances are good. So I'm going to turn this on edge, and then I'm going to extrude that. So now I pushed it up an inch, and again, I don't need it. I want it to extrude like it did, but I don't need it to be an inch tall. So I'm going to change that to 0.5, half inch, and there I have it. Okay, so that'll be good. So now, again, if I zoom out a little bit here, you see that I have a hole, and I'm going to put those in the middle. You have a hole here that's 0.25 and a pin that's 0.25, and those can be printed, and I can push that one into there to see if they fit. Now, that may or may not be great, so rather than print these two and waste time, I'm going to, and find out it doesn't work, I'm going to make a few more pins so I can print all these at one time and figure out which one works. Okay, but what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to sketch on the side of this, which I probably could have done while I was making it, but and I'm going to basically put it on the side here, and I'm going to type in 0.25 so I can remember which one it is. And now what I'm going to do is extrude that, and I'm going to remove it from the material so it goes in and make it a depth of 0.03, let's say. Okay, and if I zoom way in on this right now, you see it actually pushed in to the material point, and I could probably make it even less than that. I don't need it to be quite that radical, but anyway, you get the idea. So I'm going to go back to zoom fit here, and we're going to go up to top, and now what I'm going to do is make another pin, press fit pin on this one here. So I'm going to hit OK there. I'm going to make a press fit pin on here that's 0.24, a little bit smaller than this one. So I'm going to go to sketch, click on this one here. Okay, go up to the circumscribe polygon. Okay, and I'm going to do the same thing I just did. Find the center, let it inference that, draw that, go to 8 sides. Okay, zoom in on it. Okay, and now I'm going to dimension that by clicking on the circle. Okay, and I'm going to type in 0.24. And then I'm going to, I'll turn that edge here a little bit, and then I'm going to extrude that, change the extrude depth to 0.5, okay, and I'm good to go. Now, while I'm here, I'm going to hit OK, and move on to this one. And actually, then I could have put 0.24 in here. Now I'm going to go to this one right here and do the exact same thing. I'm going to sketch on there, click on this plane, circumscribe, okay, go to the center, go in until it hits there, drag this out, okay, go up to 8, and then I'm going to dimension that. So I'm going to zoom in so you can see that, grab the outside of the circle, and type in 0.26. I'm going to try it to be just a little bit bigger than the hole, and it might press fit a little bit better. It might be too big, it's hard to say. So that's why you're just testing these out. And then basically I'm going to extrude that, same thing, half inch, 0.5, okay, and I want 0.6, sorry, 0.5, and hit OK. So now what I could have done also is I should have typed, I'm going to click on there, and I'm going to draw on here, type in 0.26, okay, hit up, and actually I could have left that up, and I can extrude that. Actually, I probably should have done that afterwards, but let's do it on this here. 0.02, and let's see if that comes through. So it did, and I screwed that up. So I'm gonna, yeah, it's got a problem here. So I'm gonna click on this and delete that last one I just did. I'm gonna go back to sketching, sketch on this plane, do the text, okay, type in 0.26, hit OK, and then I'm going to extrude that, and I'm going to push that inward, 0.02, okay, just so, and now it's good, and I could probably go back over here and click on this one here, sketch that, okay, and then go to the text tool here, and 0.24 was the size of that pin, hit OK, extrude that, okay, again I'm going to change the depth in which it's going in, 0.01, and remove it, and hit OK. So now I could send all these to me to get printed. And I could test each one to know which one works. And I could maybe do 0.23 and 0.27, and I'd know right away one of these is going to work for that. Okay, so that's press fit. The size of the polygon is up to you. Like I said, 6, 8, no more than 10 sides are needed, because the more sides you get, the more it's going to be like a circle, and the edges, the points won't make the contact. You'll get more friction than you really want. So with that, then you can click on the parts and export them as an STL, and that's how you get them printed. So I hope that helps. Let me know if you have any other questions. But again, you could make as many of these as you wanted. But that way you're printing one time and you'll know which one works.